In fact, they produce so much milk in Europe that they pour it away. Why can't you do the same thing? A whole president claiming they are in the 21st century are supporting a very primitive practice of moving cattle from place to... All of you, you're not ashamed of yourselves. You have no shame. As somebody will say, your shame is shaming me. I'm telling you, you people from the zoo, I'm ashamed of your ignorance and stupidity. You people are hopeless, completely hopeless. One day I want idiot to come and say, we are intellectuals. And you're moving cattle from Kafanchan to Ahoda. You are intellectuals. You are intellectualizing. You are in the 21st century, you are moving cattle, driving cattle, Nama, from over 300 miles. Claiming Yoruba forest is a place for you to be in. You want to relax, Yoruba forest is every Nigerian is free to live anywhere. And do their business anywhere, yes? But when an Igbo man tries to sell beer in Kanu, you destroy it. You destroy their businesses, you destroy their hotels, but you can come down to the south and live anywhere you like and grace anywhere you like. And you're telling me that is a country, that is one Nigeria for you?
Structurally skewed to favor Lagos economy. And this is the basic truth. How can Lagos have 3 functioning seaports with a 4th one in the works and every other place is languishing? How do you build an economy when everything is centered around Lagos? Is it because the Lagos establishment is afraid that if there is an operational seaport in the eastern maritime flank, which geographically is better for maritime operations, you're going to have traffic diversion of port operations from the southeast, the south-south, the northeast to Akwa Ibom? Is it because they're afraid of revenue losses? It doesn't make any sense. We have to say the truth to power.
All right. So if you notice, in the recent days, I've been posting videos of the broadcast that our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, did concerning this nation. Yes, the essence of me posting those videos is to remind you what he has said concerning this nation. And also to remind you that those things that he has said are not happening. Oh yes, because if you carefully listen to his broadcast, you will understand that he talks about the past, he talks about the present, and he talks about the future. And every word he said are almost very correct. Yes, so bear with me. In this few time, I'll be bringing you the videos of our leaders' broadcast. All right. Now, in this video, once again, you may start to ask yourself, you may start to wonder, why is it that Igbos, the Southeasterners, always talk about marginalization? Okay, some persons has come out to say, oh, the reason why we are agitating for Biafra is because of marginalization. Even though I said that someday and somebody was like, no, it's not because of marginalization. Not only you is being marginalized in Nigeria, probably because of injustice. And I said, no, it's not only injustice. Marginalization, in fact, is the major reason why the Southeasterners are agitating for Biafra. How? Ask yourself this question. Why is it that there is no working refinery in the southeast of Nigeria? Why? Why is it that they suddenly stop the cement factories, industries that is working in the southeast? Why? Have you ever asked yourself, why is it that there is no seaport in the southeast? Or does it mean that there is no sea that ship can enter in the southeast? Have you ever asked yourself? Have you ever asked yourself why the cocoa industries in the southeast suddenly stopped? Oh, should I even remind you that somebody from the north is now trying to start a factory where they assemble car, as Innocent is doing in the southeast? So, thinking about all this, you begin to ask yourself, why will these people not agitate for separation, the marginalization, the injustice? Now, in this video, I will also bring you the broadcast of our dear leader, Nnamdi Kanu, or Hamadike 1 of Igbo land, where he took time to explain some of these things so that it will be very clear to us.
I despise Dangote. He is not the richest man in Africa, and I will tell you why. Because he's running a monopoly. In America, he will be in jail. I keep saying this every broadcast I come and I tell you. All of you were there. Let me tell you what the Fulanis have in store for you. Go into ordinary business. In every sphere of the economy, the Fulani dominate. Their stranglehold is total. They own over 90% of the oil wells. The reason why they own these oil wells is because people from the coastal region of Biafra land forgot who they are to allow the enemy to come in. That is why Ogoni land is polluted and can never be cleaned. That is why every year resource control with nothing happening. Because of the efficiency of divide and rule that they applied, of course the British applied. Let me tell you what they have done. Cement. Everybody must buy cement to build a house. Because of the way the white man taught us to build houses. Whereas before we used to use clay to build our houses to maintain the temperature inside at 26 or 27 degrees centigrade. And all of a sudden it's all breeze block. There is a conductor of heat. Let's put that to one side. For you to build a house. Let me tell you how clever the Fulanis are with their British advisors. Everybody needs shelter at some point. If you're successful in life, you're about to build a house. Even if you don't build, you're bound to rent a house. You're not going to sleep outside. The landlord that built the house or the owner of the house must have built it with the cement. You see how clever they are. The Fulanis thought to themselves, let us control the cement industry. How are they going to control it? By killing off and closing every other cement producer in the country. So that only one man is not going to produce the cement. He's going to import the powder and bag it somewhere in Lagos. That's how you have Dangote cement. Over the years. Some of you may have forgotten that my uncles used to work at Niger-Sem cement factory at Nkalagu, built by Dr. Michael Oba. Niger-Sem is called Nkalagu cement. Some of you have forgotten, but I'm sure if you're as old as I am, you remember BCC Lions of Bogo. Have you forgotten Lion Cement from Benue? BCC means Benue Cement Company. They used to have cement in Benue State. There was Elephant Cement, Eagle Cement, Ashaka Cement, Boham Cement. Even Ipeto had his own cement. Now, people complain they don't have any jobs. They are miscreants. They have no jobs. But you people, the same Fulani that you people idiotically voted for, or claim you voted for, are the people that shut down all these factories. They want Fulani to control you. They gave the monopoly the license to import cement to one single Fulani man. Dangote. That was why they put Ipeto in prison. EFCC called him and imprisoned him to stop him from selling cement. Only one Fulani, only one, mind you, the control of the oil. Only one Fulani man. Some of you are so stupid in Nigeria. I don't know the type of God that made some of you, but I will educate and I will enlighten you. If you listen to us without bias, believe you me, your life can never be the same again. Your brain will open. Let me give you an example of what is happening in the zoo. Before now, there was nothing, and Obasanjo is very stupid. I'm telling you, Obasanjo is an idiot. Obasanjo was the man that rubber stamped some of these things. I'm telling you right now, this evening. Not only do Fulanis control the oil well, there were a lot of people, thousands of people working in the refineries. Let me tell you what they did next. They went into the refineries and they shut every refinery down. They went and built a refinery under Abacha in Equatorial Guinea. They went into a consortium with the British and built a refinery in Exeter, in England. Now, this crude oil that previously would have been refined in One, in Iguacha, Port Harcourt refinery, in Warri, or to an extent Kaduna, now we ship them abroad. And made every worker in that place useless, rendered them unemployed. Money wasn't coming in. I want people to understand when Lai Mohammed was saying, what holds us together is more than what's all that rubbish, nonsense. I want to tell you how Fulani took over your lives before your eyes, as you're watching talking about Nigeria, our flag, our team, Super Eagles, Green Eagles, Eagles, talking about the Fulani, we are stealing your lives away from you. Before your own eyes. Fulani was not content in owning the oil wells. They shut down the refineries where our parents were working, where you could study petroleum engineering, graduate and find a job to feed your family. that sector was shut down. Remember, they shut down the cement sector. The very critical, every day there's construction going on, isn't it? It's a very critical sector of the economy. Getting raw materials, of course. Fulani, Dangote one man. Now let me tell you what they did very cleverly. They came to the petrol. Not only the oil well is not enough, to tell you how much they hate you. They call you a Nigerian. Yes, you like, but they despise you. They hate you. If not, why would they shut down all the cement factories and allow one man to import? And they say produce, import. You will have limestone in Nkalagrata in Ebonyi State rotting away. Shut down. BCC in Nuboko, shut down. Maybe you're not going to have taken it totally bad. Not to produce, not to manufacture cement, but import cement powder and repackage. That's all that they do. And they claim they love you. They claim they want to see Nigeria progress. I am doing this program this evening to let the whole world understand that there is no basis for unity in Nigeria, because the whole thing is based on evil and wickedness. Why? Because Fulani people are not hardworking people. They can't wake up by 5 or 4 in the morning to go to work. I challenge anybody. All those factories that you see in Lagos, in all those industrial bands, I challenge anybody anywhere in the world to tell me if a Janjaweed can wake up by 4 in the morning to go to work in a factory. It's a challenge to everybody. Show me one. Now listen. They took over cement, which is very critical. They took over oil itself. The only way that people, private individuals, share oil wells amongst themselves. That is not enough. Instead of moving that oil to the refinery to be refined, where we can find jobs to make kerosene available easily, to make fuel available to run out. No, not at all. To tell you how evil they are. Those claiming and shouting one Nigeria to tell you how satanic they are. They moved all those jobs abroad by shutting down all the refineries that you have in your Zoom country. And who is the judge of NNPC? Fulani. The Kiari family. Understand? Now, you see what they did? They now moved crude oil abroad to the refineries that they built with stolen money from the public coffers. It doesn't end there. Denying you jobs is not the end. It's not even their problem. Now, to bring that refined petrol back into Nigeria, you will not pay subsidy again to bring back into the country what left the country for free. Only if black people can't listen. They took away cement sector, very critical in the building of an economy in the world. They took away oil, which is the only thing that you have, so to speak. They export it, they export it and they make money. They bring it back and you pay tax for it. Yet no refineries are working. That is how you have fuel subsidy. The meaning of fuel subsidy is that your refineries are not working. Not that they will not work if you turn them on, but because Fulani shut it down. Yet they will control your lives. 2 sectors. We must all eat, isn't it? Everyone must feed every day. You have to eat something. There is no food you cook in our land without salt in it. No. You must add salt now. It's normal. You cannot have tea in the morning without sugar. Dangote. Ordinary Indomie. Dangote. There was a Biafra I met in the Netherlands. He wanted to bring Indomie into the zoo. I think he brought sample. They arrested him at the airport and put him in jail for trying to disrupt Dangote's stranglehold on the, should I say, the ready meal industry, pasta and all sort of rubbish that people eat. Only them. Only them. You cannot feed without contributing to Fulani domination of your life. In religion, those of you who are Muslim, Fulani is number 1. Politics, they are number 1. Army, they are number 1. The police, they are number 1. Everywhere, they are number 1. Every time you talk, unity, they hate, they kill you, they arrest you, they shoot you, anything is unity. Because they know what they're benefiting. The final game is to hand over our land and our forests to their brothers and sisters from the Sahel. And it's happening before our eyes. One shut down refinery that could have employed millions of people. Ibocha down, Warre down, even Kaduna. Who built Kaduna refinery? It's not Obasanjo. They asked me, said he's diversifying the location of major industries. He wanted to please the Fulani masters that put him in power. They built Kaduna refinery. You have to move oil all the way from the south to the north. They can pipe oil to the north and everywhere else, but they cannot pipe clean water to your homes. They cannot pipe gas to your homes. And they claim, they tell you, we protect one Nigeria. We are all Nigerians. We are going to make progress. Progress how? For how many years? How can you make progress by shutting down industries that employ people, rendering them unemployed, and importing into the country finished items and products that you could have produced in your country? Are you listening to me? People from Niger come in and go as they like. Most of these idiots are from Niger. They are building a pipeline to Niger. They are building a railway line to Niger. They are building roads to Niger. Whereas where the money comes from, which is Biafra land, we don't have those infrastructure. No, we don't. But you're taking our money. You come to Izombe, you come to Ohaji, you come to Ebema, you come to Aguleri, you come to Ebonyi. You take our resources, sell it, get the money, and now you're building the way to the Niger Republic, and you want me to be happy with you. Clap for you. Oh, Nigeria is doing well. One Nigeria. I think you are insane. You come to my land, you take our oil, you take our gas, you take our manpower, you take everything, our VAT, our tax that we pay. You are now building a road from Katsina to Niger, airport in Niger, refinery in Niger. You take oil, crude oil from my land, you take it to Niger, you refine it, you bring it back to me as a refined petroleum, or as PPS as you call it. And you're telling me that that country is viable. You're telling me that Nigeria should be supported. We are in one Nigeria. We are not going anywhere. And you're dying every day. Because those that they appointed to speak for you, they gave them money and positions. So that they will come out on the pages of newspapers to give the world the misleading impression that everything is okay, when things are not okay. Go through the statements of Ohaneze and see the contradictions in it. Nigeria is not working. We are marginalized. And then you come back and say Nigeria is one. We must stay in it together. Are you not foolish? These are the useless intellectuals that you have. On one hand, you say Nigeria is not working. You're marginalized. You are being discriminated against. You're suffering. They're killing you everywhere. And you come back to the same place and say Nigeria must be one. Had Nigerians gotten together to say they want to be part of this useless contraption, that's entirely their business. I'm a Democrat, I've subscribed to it. But have you asked yourself this question? Why is it that all those asking you to remain in one Nigeria has something to gain from Nigeria, or they have benefited in the past? Nothing more, nothing less. I saw the letter that Atiku Abubakar wrote to President Biden. In it, Atiku Abubakar said to come and help us fight terrorism, in order to ensure that there will be no regional destabilization. That is their game plan at the US State Department for very many years, until we stepped in. They keep trotting out these lies. Once Nigeria breaks up, there will be destabilization in the entire region. I said it because you don't understand African history. Most of these people are not educated. When I say, they say I'm insulting them. No, I'm not insulting you. Most of you are not educated. In Africa, we are tribal creatures in Africa. In Africa, we are tribal creatures in Africa. We always go back to our village where we were born, where our umbilical cord, how long, where it was buried. That's where we come from. That is why every Christmas, Easter, New Year festival, or August meeting, you see us migrating back to where we come from. And I keep saying these things to Africans, they don't understand it. They don't understand it. Everywhere in Africa during Christmas, if you like, be in South Africa, if you like, let it be in Kenya, let it be in Rwanda, everybody from the capital goes to the village. If you go to Accra, the same thing happens. This past Christmas, if you like, go to Cotonou, go to Yaoundé in Cameroon. Everybody living in the capital cities of Africa, they go back to their villages. They go back to their tribes where they come from. Do they do that in the Western world? During Christmas, these people migrating from, oh, I come from Florida, I'm going to Florida. No, you don't. Because people come from where they are born. We come from where our ancestors were born. That is the difference between black people in Africa and those from Europe and other parts of the world. We come from, so if you ask somebody, where do you come from? He or she will mention their village. That is what makes us Africans. Very, very unique. If you destroy that, you're finished as a people. In Africa, we are tribal. First and foremost, we belong to our tribe where we come from. That is why our people need to appreciate this. Very, very critical that Africa is restructured to recognize where people come from. All these artificial creations by Europeans, Nigeria, this and that, all that rubbish. That is why you can never ever make any progress for the next 6 billion years. You can never ever make any progress in the zoo. Why is it, if we are not tribal, why would a whole presidency come out, Fulani presidency come out and say, we are defending Fulani headsmen? A presidency of the whole of Nigeria, so to speak. It is because by instinct, we are tribal beings in Africa. That is why Nigeria is unsustainable. That is why the man from Ishekiri has to vote to say, this is where I want to belong to. That is why referendum is the only way forward. That is why Africa is poor. Africans must recognize that this is who we are. You cannot live in Lagos if you're an Igbo man during Christmas. Start traveling to Sokoto. It's impossible. You must go to Igbo land. You must. That's where you come from. And if they ask you, oh, but you were born in Lagos, you will say, no, that's where my parents come from. They ask your parents will say, that's where my parents come from. They will keep going back until they get to perhaps the 100th generation. That is who we are. And nobody can change it. We are not born on the streets. Some people were born along Ijora or Kota Highway in Lagos. Maybe they are from Urobo. You ask them, where are you from? They say, I'm from Urobo. But I was born in, but this is where I come from. That is who we are. That is why all these useless, idiotic countries created in Africa cannot survive. It can never ever survive. And how do we stop it? Only a revolution can stop it. Only a revolution. If you like, keep postponing it. If you like, keep putting it off forever and ever. Only a revolution can solve this very problem, because under a revolution, the powers that be, those that be making your life a misery, will be overthrown. Nobody will say it's a coup anymore. It is called popular uprising. Don't let anybody deceive you. Don't let anybody deceive you. And that is why today some soldiers are listening and they are resigning from the army. How can you be a soldier in the Nigerian army and your village is being occupied by Fulani headsmen? Imagine those from Oyo or Ondo serving in the Nigerian army. These are my Yoruba brothers who are serving in the Nigerian army. You are from Yoruba, you are serving in the Nigerian army, doing one Nigeria. But your village is being occupied by a Fulani. The same people you are serving, or you claim you are serving, your village is under occupation by them. And to make matters worse, those you are serving under their flag, one Nigeria, and the Arabic inscription, or should I say the motto of Ottoman Danfodio, to tell you how foolish Nigerians are. You don't know that the Nigerian emblem, the army emblem of Nigeria, is the motto of Ottoman Danfodio that he used to conquer Hausa people. You don't know that it is there. That's what they're using. You're fighting under the banner of your conquerors. Maybe in Sambisa forest. And now they are sending their advanced strike force into your village. And you're doing one Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian soldier. I'm a Nigerian army. That is why I commend the 127 soldiers that have resigned so far from the army. If you don't do these things I'm asking you to do, you will, when the time comes, as I'm telling them now, remember 2015, remember 2014, remember 2013, I told you all these things. I told you what was going to happen, and now they have all happened before your eyes. You've seen it. I'm warning you now. If you're serving in the Nigerian army, and you think you're loyal to Buratai, you think I'm serving my Nigeria is not a fatherland or motherland to anybody. Nigeria is not a motherland or fatherland to anybody. Nigeria is purely a British creation. A British creation. Because if Nigeria was to be a nation or country, there is no way those that call themselves the presidency Asoro can come out to support illegality in Ondo State. Because they know they are doing it for that. Why do you think they want to avenge and revenge for Sir Ahmadu Bello? Why? They knew that Ahmadu Bello and his people, so to speak, were fighting for them. They understood that. At the time, the Hausa people thought that the Fulani was fighting for them, but today it's very clear. I asked you a simple question when I began. Are you hearing Hausa Fulani anymore? No, it's only Fulani, because they have taken over the entire corner. That is one thing you need to understand. People must begin to appreciate this. If you are in the Nigerian army and you're serving the Nigerian army, you are only paving the way for the conquest of your village, the rape of your daughters, and the abduction of your mothers. I'm telling you this. You are in the Nigerian army, yes. But what the Fulanis have got in store for you is to overwhelm and to conquer you. I feel sorry for those of you who are so foolish that they cannot reason very well.
There are critical areas that we must address and we must bring to the table as soon as possible. The Southeast, yes, is the only region that does not have a high pressure gas transmission pipe to take natural gas through it. You have the AKK, the Ajaokuta, Abuja, Kaduna, Kanu. There is a second phase of that AKK that goes to Gausu in Zamfara. Now, in that AKK, you have pressure metering and reduction stations in Gwagwalada for Abuja, you have in Kaduna, you have in Kano, and then you're also going to have in Gausu when the second phase starts. That AKK is what the government hopes to extend for transnational gas pipeline through Niger Republic to Algeria, even if I don't think that will be feasible because of the lack of diplomatic relationship between Niger Republic and the Nigerian government in Abuja. Okay? The Southeast does not have a pipe that runs through it, despite the fact that Abia State produces a lot of natural gas. In 2007, Ibe Kachuku designed Nigerian Gas Master Plan, and in that master plan, he put a 121-kilometer pipe that is supposed to extend from Aba to Owerri, to Enugu, to Onitsha, and then to Nnewi. The government says that no, they want to do a TNGP pipe extension from Abia State to Ajaokuta, and the second phase is going to go from Abia State to Enugu to Ajaokuta. That is going to take gas away from the Southeast, not through the Southeast. You need a pipe that extends that, because you need gas for glass fabrication, you need gas for urea, you need gas for power. 40% of the gas that is typically produced every day, either through associated gas that you get when you drill crude oil, yeah, or through non-associated gas fields, is used for electricity. So how do you want to increase generation and increase feedstock to the Gencos in the Southeast if you don't build a high-pressure transmission pipe? Whose responsibility is it to make sure that this happens? It's the Nigerian Gas Infrastructure Company, which is a subsidiary of the NNPC group. So my question to the management of NNPC is, why have they refused to commission FID for gas pipes to the Southeast? Why have the Southeast Governors Forum not gotten into a meeting with the president to ask him why the region does not have a gas pipe that runs through it? What exactly is wrong that it seems that there is like a calculated power share between the Northwest and the Southwest, and until every other region in Nigeria gets permission from the Northwest and the Southwest, nothing happens in their region? It doesn't make any sense. How can Mr. President be talking about renewed hope and economic transformation and increase in the per capita income of Nigerians and prosperity for Nigerians about building a $1 trillion economy when everything is centered around Lagos?
All right. So you have seen it. Do we still need to talk more? Please do well to drop your comment on the comment section. I'll see you in my next video. God bless you.